everybody. Welcome back to the Comedy Castle podcast. I'm your host, Joel Fragomeni, going to tell you what's going on this week at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. We'll be talking to headliner Sean Patton in just a couple of minutes. But we're going to just really talk about Sean Patton because, you know, he's the guy this week, and this show is going up a little later. We were working around schedules this week with Sean. I'm a big fan of Sean, as you'll hear in this interview, and I thought it was important to get him on this week because he's on a big TV show that I love and everything like that. So, and we'll get into all that. But here's the schedule for this week. It's Thursday as I'm recording this, so let's start tonight, 7:30 p.m. with Sean Patton. It's a single show. Next night, Friday, tomorrow night, 7:15 and 9:45, the 25th. Got two shows for you on a Friday night. And then Saturday, the normal show times as usual, 7 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on Saturday night, the 26th. Sean Patton, Alex Bozanovic coming in as your feature act this week, and Samantha Rager, a couple of really funny local comics that I've known for a long time. They're going to be opening these shows with Sean. I'll tell you a little bit about Sean, and then we'll get into the interview here. Sean, he headlined the club years and years ago, and I can't even tell you how many, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, but he's been touring for years and years. He is the frequent opening act of David Cross. If you know David Cross, he performed last in Royal Oak, he'll tell you, at the Music Theater with David Cross, but now he's back at our club. And in addition to being a really funny stand-up and with some incredible specials out there, I watched Number One this week, which I thought was a real treat. But listen to this. His television show where he was part of an ensemble, but it is a show set in a high school called The English Teacher. It is on FX and Hulu, where he plays the coach, the athletic director, and Marky, and it is a super funny show. It's about a high school teacher who's also a gay man, and he sort of deals with being a homosexual in a high school setting, along with people who maybe don't get that. And Marky's one of his allies. Marky's one of his buddies. And Sean is super funny on that show. I think it's one of the best shows around. It's coming back in September. You'll hear that in this interview. So I'm really looking forward to that. But I'm just a fan of his stand-up. He's a great dude. And here's the thing I'm going to tell you. He tells a story, and he told me this just before, the show starts officially, right? He says, "You're Joel from Club Bart, right?" And I said, "Yeah." That was an open mic I hosted. You probably heard me talk about it on this show. Open mic I hosted in Ferndale, Michigan, for about 10 years. And it was the place that I started comedy, very first place I started comedy. And he stopped in, and I did not even know. And it was years ago. It was over 20 years ago. And he'll tell that story, and it's hilarious. If you've ever been to a comedy open mic, maybe you were at the Club Bart open mic, and you saw me hosting the shows. I get roasted. Let's put it that way. I do get a little roasted on this one, but I can take it. Sean's great. I think you're going to love him this weekend if you come out and buy a ticket. And certainly, if you're a fan of The English Teacher, you're in for a treat here. With I've said that word twice. I say it again. I don't know why. I just like Sean. And here's the interview, folks. I'll be back after this. All right, Sean Patton. Ladies and gentlemen, on the other end of my line, it's a pleasure to welcome back to the Comedy Castle this week. But first time on this show for Sean Patton. How you doing, Sean?
Hello, my friend. I'm doing quite well. Alive, well. Just got back from Europe. I was in Spain this morning.
Okay.
So now I'm in Brooklyn, and tomorrow I'll be in Detroit.
So what's going on in Spain?
Actually, that was just a trip to go see my friend and his wife and kids. They're spending. Right. They split their time between Spain and the U.S.
That's amazing. Spain sounds great.
Yeah, it's great. I don't know about. I mean, listen. Normally, I would say I don't want kids, and then I spent the weekend with my friend and his two, awesome kids, and now I can say that I absolutely, under no circumstances, want kids because to every parent out there, God bless you. I don't know how you do it. I think that is energy and attention on a level that I thought I knew. I thought I understood. I clearly have no clue.
Well, yeah, you know, I don't have kids myself, and I'm getting up there, but I did just get married this year, so
well, congrats to you, buddy.
The wife's wanting one.
She's already planting the seeds.
She is, yeah.
Yeah. So. She's already showing you pictures of her friends' kids.
There's a lot of. We got nephews. It's a whole thing.
Oh yeah, man.
Got nephews.
I think. Yeah, it's always like it always starts subtly. Like, I don't know, what would you want to name it? And then the next thing you know, it's like that's what we are naming it when we have it. I like how I call it it. That's clearly.
You don't know till you have it, but anyway, let's get into so Comedy Castle. You were last at the club. Do you remember what year it was?
It's been a while.
Yeah, I would say so. I can't remember myself, but
yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I remember loving it. I remember having a great time. Mm-hmm. I remember, everything went. I mean, it's always. I was there. I was in Royal Oak like a year and a half ago, opening for David Cross.
Oh, okay.
At that theater at the Royal Oak.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. And then, of course, hung out afterwards. And at Michigan, I love Michigan because it's like a less pretentious. It's one of the least pretentious states out there.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah, and everyone's pretty. It's like Detroit's like a less up its own ass Chicago. Really,
yeah,
you know
sure.
what I mean? Like,
I agree with that. Chicago people don't like that, but I'd agree with that.
Of course not. I mean, and I love Chicago, but like there's a thing to Detroit where it's very like everyone's very chill, and then you get out into the Royal Oak area, and everybody out there just wants to have fun and talk to the Midwest. I love the Midwest because people want to talk.
Yeah.
And because everyone has a personality. Mm-hmm. And my theory on that is because you all grow up indoor kids.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
So you're like forced to develop personalities, which I think is nice, unlike you go to like Southern California where people are just like outdoors and beautiful and like they're not comfortable.
Well, I think Detroiters too, Michiganders maybe in general, like to hear about other places because they realize that Michigan isn't the most exciting place in the world. And you sort of, the things that are great about it, you don't really care about from the day to day. So when you hear somebody's from wherever, California or New York, it just makes them ask a million questions.
And to a comedian, that could sometimes that's like the make or break situation.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, oh my God, here comes some questions. And then other times you're like, finally, some questions, But I always have fun there. And like, I love that neighborhood. But the club itself, I mean, I remember seeing it for the first time before the renovations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was black and red inside.
Yeah. Now I don't even know what it looks like. Now I'm sure. So who knows?
Well, you've been there since it was renovated because I remember I've been on staff when you came in.
Man, it's always a fun.
Yeah. But the thing about you and the club is, I always the thing about working at the club, and you're in enough comedy clubs where I walk past the photos every day, right? Because it's our hallway, right? And I see pictures of people, you included, and go, Sean was so good. It's been years since he's been here. Why is Sean not here? And then you get a hold of the booker, and you're like, hey, what's with Sean Patton? He's coming. I can ask, and it's me, or I've asked, and they're not around. And there's always this thing about, they're good, but, it's a numbers game. We got so many people and blah, blah, blah. So I'm really excited that you're back.
Oh, yeah, me too, man. I mean, and also I know we were trying to get something on the books. I think it was for earlier this year, but I was filming season 2 of English Teacher.
Oh, yeah, I got questions about that, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Season 2, we filmed it. It's coming out in September.
Nice. That's terrific. I didn't know it was coming out that soon. That's great. That show, and I've been telling everyone on staff at Comedy Castle, you got to see English Teacher. What a great show, dude. That is amazing.
Oh, man, I really appreciate that. I mean, it's awesome to make. It's, we shoot, early, it takes about 2.5 months to shoot it.
Yeah,
and it's awesome, and it's the writers are so good, and everybody else in the cast. I mean, they're excellent. Like they keep me afloat. I can tell you that.
Well,
because
When I saw the show, I heard the show was good. I put it on, not knowing you were on it, and I'm like, oh, there's Sean Patton. Oh my God, it's amazing. And then your character, which sort of I think is my description of it. But your character comes on as sort of, here's the gym teacher, here's the, like if you've watched enough stuff, it's the dumb guy, it's the guy that's one-dimensional. And the one thing I love about the show is that all the characters get this backstory. They all have, arcs. They all have things, hopes and dreams and desires. And it's just so terrific.
Yeah, they made sure not to be one-dimensional, which is very easy. And, especially that character, because I think... it's the problem with a lot of TVs and movies where it's like, you don't realize that Marky is a more common guy than you think. People so many people have been like, man, that's so complex. Like, how do you play a character like that? I'm like, do you not have uncles? Do you not? This is most of my cousins I'm playing here. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's very, it's been an awesome experience too, because like, a lot of people did not know I was in that show.
Yeah.
So I guess I kept it too quiet. But yeah, people. Yeah, but
it's Marky is a guy you root for on that show. I think we're just a lot of times you see that character and go, oh, he's getting in the way of the hero. He would be the oafish guy who prevents him from doing stuff, but he's got his own life. He wants things. I love that about him.
Yeah, man. I mean, well, brace yourself for season 2. And there's more episodes. So
oh, really?
Season 1 was 8. Season 2 we got 10. So
Well, shout out to everyone on that show, man. That's a great piece of work, man.
Indeed, man. Thanks, bud.
That's great.
And we're excited. We're excited for sure.
Yeah.
But it was also like, we can't do the castle.
Oh, okay, because of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but hey, July. Good time to be. I mean, I don't know. It seems like it's terrible everywhere. But
it's going to be like 95 degrees tomorrow. I think.
It's not terrible.
Not terrible. Yeah, maybe people want to be indoors and they come see
it. Maybe Ridley's has some pretty intense air conditioning going on.
We do. Our air conditioning's great. Bring a sweater, ladies. If you're coming out this weekend, bring a sweater. I always encourage that. Bring the little sweater.
Bring the little tiny sweater that you can fold up. That little Uniqlo sweater, you can fold it up, put it right back in your bag. If you don't mind.
Leave it in the car, send the husband out for it. That's usually how it works.
That's 100, dude. You see, you got it. You got it, Joel.
They get in, they go, it's too cold. Go get it. It's a parade of dudes coming back with little sweaters from the car. It's terrific.
I mean, dude, that is you ever go into like a store and you just see being a husband now yourself, you just see the husband section
with the purse,
like a bunch of guys on their phones.
Yeah. Well, they have that chair sort of by the dressing room for the husband to sit down.
Yeah.
There's like one chair. There's a bench,
and never say anything less than, no, you look great. Yeah, because anything less than that is suicide.
Doesn't work.
But that's always shopping with that. That's how you know you're in. Is when she asks you to come shopping for the first time.
Well, we don't. My wife's actually pretty good about that. We get a lot of stuff delivered to the house.
Oh, there you go. That's nice.
Well, it's nice for not having to go to the store, but it never ends. Anyway, enough about that. Tell me about this when you called me today to do this interview.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up something from my past. I guess we crossed paths. I don't know how many years ago this would have been. It's got to be at least 15 years ago. Tell everybody how we originally met, you and I.
So there was this bar. Is it still there? Club Bart.
It is something else now.
Okay. Well, and that was not Royal Oak, correct?
No, it was Ferndale, Michigan. That's just a couple miles south of the club on Woodward Avenue.
So at the time, this was in 2004.
Oh wow! Okay, way back.
Yeah. So I was a young whipper. So we're a bunch of young whippersnappers.
Yeah, a young comic too. Yeah.
So it was my first ever road paying gig where I was on the road for 8 weeks with this thing called the Flying Cat Circus. And I say the name of it because A, it's no longer around, but B, it was mainly a college thing. And it was mainly like this. It was these two guys who were both like, and I'm making finger quotes right now,
Yeah.
circus performers, right? Sword swallower, and one guy would swallow swords, one guy would eat glass, one guy would blow fire, one guy would escape from a fucking trench coat, all this shit. And one guy was a hypnotist, and the other guy was an aspiring comedian. But they booked me to open for them.
Okay.
I would go up and do 5 minutes, and they would do their thing. So we get into Detroit, and we have like a couple of days to kill there. And I think I went to you remember those websites that just had all the open mics listed?
Well,
remember that?
Was it a Facebook thing, or it was before that even?
Oh no, it was before. I mean, 2004 would have been Friendster.
It could have been, it could have been a news group or something like that. Yeah.
It was some sort of here's this open mic at Club Bart. I was perfect. And I was trying to go by myself. But the two guys, of course, were like, nope, we're coming with. And one of them didn't try to do stand-up. He was a hypnotist, believe it or not. Was the chill one. Of those two guys, the one that did hypnosis was the chill one who was more fun to hang out with. But the other guy really, really, really thought he was fucking hilarious. And we go to do your open mic.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those nights. And if anyone listening to this podcast has ever specifically run an open mic before, run one.
Yes.
Because yes,
it's a challenge.
It is a
spinning plates. Yeah.
Joel, to say it is a challenge is you being more democratic. Yeah, it is. I mean, because when I first started out, I ran an open mic in New Orleans. And it was but it was one of those nights where I could tell everything was going wrong for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just,
I had a few of those.
Right. It was so clear because I remember it was we got there to sign up and you weren't mean about it.
No.
But you were very just shit, more? Okay, fine. Yeah, fine. Because we were we were from out of state.
Yeah,
so
I always made sure to get everybody. I mean, because I put, the Castle headliners on. Greg Giraldo popped in a couple times of that thing. And we always put up whoever was around. Yeah.
and then, but it was one of those nights too where it was it was that right this is something everybody who runs an open mic or has ever done an open mic in their life, that's just hates. It's the person who it's their first, usually it's their first, but sometimes maybe their second or third time, and they bring 25 people who are going to basically ignore everyone else, but then laugh at their one friend like they're fucking Richard Pryor incarnate, reincarnated. And so there was that situation was happening. There was also Club Bart. For those of you who've never been, the stage was behind the bar.
Yeah.
And so you'd be performing, and there'd be the bartenders in front of you, and then people at the bar, and then people sitting behind them.
Right.
And I remember there was just these three just assholes. You know what I mean? But they weren't doing enough to get thrown out, but they were doing just enough to throw everybody's set kind of off. Right? So what I remember was you just doing the work, just doing your damnedest. You know what I mean? Just you're trying to do a little crowd work, but not too much.
Yeah.
You're doing material, you're keeping a positive-ish attitude, and the night's just getting longer and longer for you. And people are being chatty, and no one's doing well.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody was just sort of fucking tripping, and that's okay. That's what an open mic is for, right? But then the guy who came with me, he put us up back to back. He went up and did exceptionally bad because he wasn't very funny. Yeah. But he went up and just had this stinker. It's just oh God, right? It's just terrible fucking set. And if I remember correctly, there was a little side, right? There's this little side area. Of course,
there was sort of a ramp up to the restroom and the back door where comics would kind of congregate. Right.
Yeah. So I'm there listening to this guy. His name was Jeff. His name wasn't Jeff, but for now we'll call him Jeff.
Okay, sure.
Because his real name was Jeffrey. But but for now we'll just call him Jeff. But he's just having a stinker, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. And then you basically bring me right on. And I had made the decision, and this is not an uncommon thing for a young open micer to do in a new town, but I was like, I'm going to do my hottest 5, which is probably all I had back then, right? I'm just going to do like my best shit because this is going, and it kind of worked. It got like people were laughing and all of a sudden the tension was being paid and I got like a mini applause break at one point. Like, oh shit, okay. And then I get off stage, and, we do like the handshake, and I walk by you, and I'm like, hell yeah, all right. And then you got on stage, you're like, okay, man, we get it. You're doing your hot stuff, your worked out material, okay. And it just, which was justified. You gave me shit. You gave me just a fucking bunch of shit for going up there and doing well, which I understood.
Right.
It was that situation where it was like the night was rough for everybody, and then I had this like good set, and it was like, you jerk.
So backhanded compliment, jealousy and congratulations, all in one.
But it was that thing, and only comedians can understand this, where I was like, if you'd have looked back at me, I'd have just given you this nod of respect. So I was like, you know what I mean? Where I'm like, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand what that means.
Well, you know what I mean? When you host the mic, and I think you know that's always being the host. Like, people like the host. Like, when the show's over and it was a great show, people always are nice to you. Oh, what a great show! You ran such a nice show. Your actual set when you host an open mic is usually terrible. Like, people aren't warmed up. A lot of them aren't even in the room yet, and so you kind of go up and eat shit every night just so everyone else can do well, at least in theory, So,
man. Yeah. And it's also like when you're off stage, you're like making sure the next person understands what's about to happen. Talking to the new person who showed up and was like mega confident at first and is now terrified.
Right.
Because and then or and I remember there was also a couple of like, I don't remember any of these guys' names, but I'm sure I've seen them around since then. Like you said, a couple of like regulars at the clubs, a couple of like the local hotshots who that came later and went up and did fucking awesome. They murdered it in half.
Yeah.
But then you're also like, you want to get those guys on, because you want people to come back.
Yeah, that's sort of the thing, and you want, like, there's always a thing that I came up with, and I don't know if it would have been in place in 2005, where the guy who brings all their friends, I would never put them up first, even if they were brand new and had never done comedy, because I wanted those people to hang out in the club for an hour, 2 hours, and eat and drink so the bar could make money. So those people would be sitting there and kind of shitting on everybody that went up, just waiting for their buddy. But at the same time, it's like, I know that if everybody runs out of the room after their buddy went up, that's not good business.
Well, no, and not just that. It's also like you want people to have an audience to perform in front of. Yeah. And it's like if you're going to have the gall to bring, your own entourage, well, guess what? You're going on last.
There you go. I would do that all the time. But you also, the thing that you did though that night is what I recommend. I teach comedy classes at the club, and I say, do your best stuff at the open mic. I know the other guys are fucking around and they're roasting everybody and they're, they're working, they're writing topical jokes, things that happen in the news that day. Go out and practice. Use it as a practice for the real show that's coming up on Saturday night. And go out and do your best stuff and kill. And some people resent that. Yeah. Maybe that was my attitude.
No. I tell you what, man. I mean, I know there's always a slippery slope to begin talking about, but like, I swear to God, man, you and I probably came up at the same time.
Yep.
I think you and I remember that era where when you went to an open mic, of the 100% pile of the people that signed up, 50% of them were crazy.
Oh yeah.
Or just like, just like bonkers, batshit. They were going to go on stage and read poetry or do a character or just not even offensive, just the most, what the fuck were you just talking about?
Yeah.
We had a guy 50%.
We had a guy who played the harmonica in his underwear. He usually closed out Club Bart.
Yes, exactly. And then of the other 50%, if you split that group into two, half of them were bad.
Yeah.
We're just bad, and we're never going to get past the open mic level. And then there was that other half that was like really good. And then you can break that different groups as well. But it was but those were the real comics, and the ones that were doing it for the love. And unfortunately, we always loved watching all the other groups. Like, it was fun to watch the guys bomb.
Crazies,
it was fun to watch the lunatics be loony. And like now, so we film in Atlanta. We film the English teacher in Atlanta, and my friend Nick Murphy, who's like he's a great, keep your eyes and ears peeled for him. Nick Murphy, he's popping up in the world. Him and I were doing a show at the Punchline, like just doing like the Sunday night. They needed a headliner, and he was around, and so I we basically co-headlined, and like he afterwards they were like, oh shit, we don't have a host for the mic. And Nick was like, fuck it, I'll stick around, I'll host. And I was like, yeah, I'll watch I kind of want to watch an open mic.
Yeah.
I just did 45 minutes on stage. I'm like, I'm gonna have some drinks and watch the open mic. And everyone was disappointingly lucid. It was such a bummer. You know what I mean? I watched on that, they put up maybe 30 comments, and it was like, oh man, you're all like, none of you are psycho. None of you are saying crazy, outlandish shit.
Well, I think, tell me this, Stu, don't you feel that, new comics are way more sophisticated than they used to be? I think they listen to podcasts, this whole internet thing where people get into it and they're like, and in a way, I think it makes you get better earlier, but a lot of people come with, sort of, a little pretense to comedy.
Well,
and that's good and bad.
Now.
Yeah.
It's good and bad. No, it's good and bad. 100%. It's good and bad because there's a roadmap now. There's a formula to it all. And it's good for the people who would never have access to it or never even would just always wish they knew how, but never did, and stay in their small suburb and marry someone they didn't love and have kids they hated and live a miserable life. Now they know they can at least write material and find where to find mics.
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it's bad in the way now. So now you've got a lot of hyperbole, a lot of just derivative shit, a lot of people just copycatting what's already successful and doing it really well, but not even trying to be unique or have a voice. They're just trying to be famous. Like, I know this. When I started out doing stand-up, the idea of success was like this abstract thing where, for me, all it was about was being good. I was like, I just want to be good at this.
Right.
I never thought about the rest of it. The only fucking thing that mattered to me was being good at it. And that was a hard road. And like I said, I was in this open mic in Atlanta watching, and one of these kids, it was like his third set, and he had a camera crew with him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Gotta get those clips.
What are you doing? But then again, I get it. That's the world now, where people people will pay money to go watch someone they saw do 1 minute of stand up. Like, all right, well, more power to everyone.
Well, the other thing too, I think, just the pure number of open micers and sort of amateur comedians on scene. When I started in 99, right? There was probably 24 amateur comedians, meaning, people that would be on the open mic would be some combination of that 24 people with a few pros mixed in. There's got to be 200 in Michigan alone right now. Got to be.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
That's
insane.
Man. But that's also that's. I mean, I've lived in New York now for 18 years.
Oh yeah.
And I can say that now too, man. It was never not full of comedians,
right?
But now it's like wild,
right?
But I mean, great. It's like I always say, it's like music in the 90s. Music in the 90s exploded. And then it wasn't just about being on MTV. Then you had indie bands. You had, word of mouth. And you had, the guy to buy voices and then the backpacker hip hop movement. And so it's like, it's just a different time is all. It's not a bad thing.
Right. It's not a bad thing. But it's also just a thing where if you're a young comic, and I tell my students as I go, it's so much harder to break into, say, the Comedy Castle lineup as an opening act. And opening acts or, headliners are bringing the opening acts now more than they used to. So they used to be local openers. I can't even do that.
Sure. And I understand that because, you want your friends to make a little money and have a little exposure. And I'll do that from time to time. But I'm also a big proponent of use locals.
Right.
I'm a big proponent of that, especially in good comedy scenes. Like Detroit. Detroit has a very underrated comedy scene.
I agree with that.
Sure. There. And you got guys like Sam Talent who
sure.
lives in Detroit now, and that guy is one of the best out there.
Absolutely,
right now.
I agree. Love Sam.
Like Sam's brilliant, and like now he lives there, and you got great clubs, and you got great comics, and you got a community out there. But yeah, you're right. It's also like, yeah, if I'm going to like, you know, some small, I'm afraid to shit on any small cities. I'm like, oh wait, there might be. that was a lot easier 10 years ago to be like, if I'm going to Fort Wayne, Indiana, I'm bringing it over. They're like, but there's a couple guys there that are actually pretty funny.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to gig in West Virginia.
Oh, nice, bro.
Those are some rough nights, man.
Yeah, dude. Wow.
Weird. Because there's part of West Virginia that's like Pittsburgh, and then there's other parts of West Virginia that are just West Virginia.
Just Shittsburg
hills, man. Just.
Oh yeah, dude.
And no comedy scene there, man. It was wild. But let's give people a little bit of a heads up. What are you doing this weekend? I watched your new special, #1. It was awesome.
Thank you.
I love being on the stage with the band gear. I love that.
You know what's amazing, dude, is all that shit.
Setting.
All that shit was there.
Yeah.
When we scouted it.
Yeah.
When we were scouting the venue like months before.
Right.
And I was like, wait, is this? They're like, yeah, this is just the only thing that wasn't. I'll tell you this now. The only thing that was not up there that they had, that they offered, they were like, do you want to put this up there? I said, absolutely. Is the Fender on there? That's Dr. John's guitar.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right.
One of his guitars. Yeah. And they, Tipatina, he gifted it to Tipatinas. Because that's like that venue is just a classic New Orleans music venue. And I love it. I was so happy when they wanted to do it. But, yeah, man, thank you.
That was great.
I'm really happy with that special. I love it.
Real storytelling, really funny stories from, being a kid and stuff like that. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, stylistically, I would say, I'm not a big crowd work guy. And I have to say that because I've had people come out to shows and I've actually had people say these words to me more than once. Love the show, or a variation of this.
Yeah.
Love the show. Wish you would have, or were disappointed that you didn't talk to us more. I'm like, okay, I understand that because I know now the culture says sit up front, wear a silly shirt, and the show's going to be about you for 10 minutes. That's just not my style. I'm not. Nothing about your silly shirt is more interesting than what I'm going to tell you. I'm sorry. That sounds arrogant. It just is. I am a storyteller.
Okay. I get it. I don't really talk to. I mean, when I would host open mic, I'd talk to the crowd just as a way to bring them in and run out of material. But I get it, headline, and you want to give them the good stuff. That's the right attitude.
Yeah, I mean, I say this to everyone. Like, I get it. Like, it's fun sometimes in the moment, and so stupid or something really weird, whatever. It's like I get it, but like I'm a material guy.
Yeah.
Girls and people who do material. We work on this shit. We hone it. You know what I mean? We're presenting. We're not just talking to talk. Like it's like here's something that I have said in front of audiences around the world, and now to you. So that's my thing. Like it's material. I'm gonna tell you stories. It's gonna be great. I promise. And then I'll have drinks with you.
There you go. You guys talk at the bar after. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds like
I'll do crowd work. I'll do crowd work over drinks.
Sounds great, Sean. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing you again. Folks, go over to comedycastle.com. Get your tickets for Sean Patton. He's a television star. That's the thing, too. Let's not forget that. Let's not leave that out of the pitch this weekend. This show, English Teacher, if you haven't seen season 1, it's amazing. Season 2's dropping. It's going to blow up. Come on.
Thank you, buddy. I am ecstatic. Season 1 was great. Season 2 is going to be even better.
Sounds great.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you, bud.
We'll hang out. Maybe we'll have a drink. Who knows?
We got to see what happens.
It's all.
Maybe we'll go back. Maybe let's go back to whatever club bar it is now.
Go do sets. Just go. Hey, can we come up here? It's a sports bar now. There's TVs everywhere.
I bet. Let's see if we could.
The stage still exists, and you could eat your pizza on the stage. What used to be the stage. They still have that.
That's an interesting. We don't want you to forget what we were. I gotta respect that.
10,000 comedians died on this stage. Little plaque.
Exactly, dude. They're not just
Historic
if they
marker.
if they open up a sports bar on Normandy Beach, they're still gonna leave. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do that. Hey, Sean, thanks for talking. This is a treat, man. We'll see you this weekend.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Okay.
Looking forward to it,
Take
buddy.
care, man. Bye-bye.
You too, boss.
There it is, man. There's a peek at what your host was doing in 2004. I sound stressed out in that story, don't I? Don't I sound just a little like, I was, like I said, it's spinning plates hosting an open mic. But it's cool that, these people that come through and open mic. And I always say that about our open mic at the Comedy Castle. You never know who's going to show up. You never know what they're going to go on to do. And to know that Sean came through and did a little set at my bar. And now he's back headlining the Comedy Castle, and I'm hosting this show talking to him. That's really cool. That's a great thing. That's a great thing about show business. So, again, comedycastle.com has all your tickets for this weekend with Sean Patton. We always got the comedy classes at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. Bill Bouchard's got the beginner class. That'll be on Mondays, I think, going forward through the summer. And it'll be back on Saturdays in the fall. My next class will be starting up on September 13th, and you can call the Comedy Castle at 248-542-9900. My class, of course, the advanced comedy class, if you've done the beginner class, or you're just somebody who's done comedy for a little bit and you want to learn a little bit more and get yourself to that professional level, take the advanced comedy class at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. All right? We're going to leave it at that. It was a late show this week. I apologize, but I think it was worth it. And I thank you for it. Sean Patton's awesome. He's a big star. That show, I think, is going to be really, really big when it comes back in September, the English teacher. And you guys can say, I saw him at Comedy Castle. Yeah, it was July. It was hot out. So we went inside and saw Sean Patton, and he was delightful. And I got to talk to him after. That's the thing. He wants to talk to you after, all right? Go talk to Sean Patton, all right? Let's get out of here. We'll catch you next week, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you at the club. Bye-bye.